YouTube friends, my name's Jackie and welcome back to Gone Potty Gardening. I'm with you in a different part of the garden today, just to show you what we've been doing here at the cottage. So behind me is the actual garden where we grow the vegetables, and I'm stood in the field down at the bottom. Now on here we've got about 1.2 acres, which is quite a lot to keep up with, you know. 1 minute the grass is just great, the next minute it's like 4 foot high, so you have to keep on top of it all the time. Hence I've got an area to the right there that I've got to clear. But anyway, I'll show you what we've been doing down in this field. So in this bottom part of the field I've been planting some fruit trees. I don't know what that one is. Oh, that's a Bramley apple, that one. But there's one behind there as well, that's I can't remember, damson I think. Let's go and have a look. And I saw some damsons on it, which is great. Look. That's really great. That's the area right at the back there that I've got to clear with the strimmer. And we've had a couple of trees down during the winter. But yeah, we've got a few trees here. I'd say about 8 or 10 now really. I picked up what I thought was a nice cherry tree, and it turned out it was a sour cherry tree, but actually that is good for you, it's good for inflammation, so I'm not going to moan about that one. Yeah, so we've got some nice fruit trees growing down here now. Now they do take a while to get established, so they've been fed and I've been watering them to try and get them going. Yeah, so I look forward to getting some fruit from our land at some point. The grass round here now is getting to look a bit better because it's been mowed regularly with the ride-on mower, and it's turning up really green. So yeah, we're keeping on top of that with the big mower. So I'll take you up to the garden and show you what's happening in the garden. Weather's not been great this time of the year, has it really? We've had a lot of northerly winds, which have been cold, not a lot of sunshine, but we're still getting some nice vegetables. We'll start from the end and have a look. So we've got some nice corn there. Just starting to shoot up. We've had a little bit of sunshine and it's starting to come up now. In that bed. In the next bed, some nice cabbages. I actually love the colour of them. Really lovely. So yeah, I look forward to some of those. And then in this bed, I keep hoping for a great big long bed of raspberries, but they're just coming. I must have a mix of raspberries, some summer fruiting and some autumn, because these ones are just shooting up. And here. So yeah, eventually they will all spread along, I'm sure. Once I cut them in the winter time, cut them down. Oh, I can see a little raspberry. The onions I thought had gone to seed, but I was quite surprised actually. When I started pulling them out, they were okay. I mean, they're not great big onions, but they're onions, aren't they? We can eat them. I mean, they're sort of like the size that you get in a net of a few, you know, the little ones. But they're fine. So what I'll do with those later is I'll take them in the polytunnel and hang them up to dry better. And then I'll string them together when they're dry. What else have we got? Pickles, what are you doing? In here I think there's a few swede, innovation that's called. Apart from that bed there's not a lot in there really. A few garlic I've just got to pull out. What I'm going to do I think is get some straw to fill the beds, and then that'll stop the weeds coming through so quickly. This is curly green kale, which is done really well. And surprisingly this year I haven't seen so many slugs, I've seen more snails. But I don't know if anyone else has noticed, usually this comfrey is covered in bees. Now I can hear a bee noise. But this year there's been lack of bees and insects, definitely. What I'm going to do with this is cut it all off soon. Oh, there's a bee there, I can hear it. I don't know where it is. But yeah, I want to cut all that off and put it in a big tub of water and make some feed. This bed here is a little bit of a mix up really. I want to make an arch for this honeysuckle. There's a couple of more swede and stuff in there. And let's walk around. These poppies are just starting to get little buds on. I love them poppies, they're beautiful when they come out. This is some sweet William that I put in, that I grew from seed. And also some antirrhinum that I grew from seed. That bed at the back there, I'll show you. Let's go and have a look. I'm going to redo this bed and split it into 2 beds. That's why I haven't put anything in there. But I will put the garlic in these when I've sorted it out. I'll probably order some wood or something and make 2 separate beds so I can get at the side of it and behind it. The potatoes were doing well, but now they've started to get light, which is always a feature here. We had a really beautiful display from the antirrhinums this year. I love them, I really do. They brighten up the garden. There's some sprouts there, a couple of onions in there, and these are the lupin, my castle. When these pods dry out you can pick them and save the seed, but they seem to disappear off the plant before they dry out. But yeah, that's definitely multiplied that bunch of lupin. In this bed I did these from seed, they're lovely as well. They're antirrhinum, just different type. Bit of a mixture in here. There's a potato that's found its way in there. A few onions in there. And some beetroot. A couple of fuchsias I want to put into the ground. The polytunnel over there, this one, I don't use it for growing, but it's got loads of holes in the cover. So that's a project that I'm working on in there, for storing all the canes, but it really does need a good clear out. What's that on the fruit tree? My God, great big beetle. Now I don't claim to be an expert in the garden at all, I just learn from, doing it and learn as you go along. But the fruit trees, I bought a handbook on those, so I'm going to read up about those, and I want to prune them so that they don't get too high. So that would be a job that I'll be looking at in the not too distant future. This is just a bed under the apple tree there. Again, I put some sweet William there and a few antirrhinums. So it's quite a nice full bed of flowers there. This bed has got leeks in it, and I've been putting the grass clippings in there to try and stop the weeds basically, but it doesn't really, there's not enough in there. But yeah, there are leeks in there, grown from seed. These 3 beds over here are, they've got kale and turnips. It's my first year for growing them, and they've turned out really well. I mean, look at that one. Yeah, really pleased with them. I put a few flowers in amongst some of the beds. There's some more poppies there. So in this bed, I've got some swede in here as well, which are these lovely leaves. So yeah, we've got a few swede planted. Some more kale at the back there. There's a few leeks in here and some more sprouts. And I planted these little lobelia at the edge. I think they look really pretty. Gardens are strange, aren't they? When you try and plant things, they don't grow. But we've got some black currants down there that I pulled up, got to be a couple of years ago. And they found a way to come back, and they're producing us some lovely black currants. So we're going to make some flapjacks with that. These are the black currants I'm talking about. I mean, there's loads of them on there. So we're going to pick them and make that recipe. Over the winter this year, I really want to get ready. I mean, I missed a whole gardening season last year, so it's taken me this season to try and put it all right again. But this winter I want to spend some quality time in the garden, doing the structural things. You know, the arch that I made out of the natural wood, that's really had it now. It's falling apart. So I'd like to make another arch, a couple of arches in the garden, because I always think it's nice to have sort of sections in your garden where you don't know what's there until you walk through. You know, I love that. So yeah, I want to do that over the winter and make a few more bird boxes as well. I enjoy doing things like that, being creative, you know. Even if I'm not an expert, I like to have a good go at things. I'll walk you around to the polytunnel. These are some more potatoes, but they've got blight, as you can see. They're main crop as well, them ones. I put all these secondurlies along the wall, but they're like basically nearly ready for harvesting, but the leaves haven't died off yet, but they do have blight as well. Yeah, so we're going to the polytunnel, but I'll show you. The carrots are doing fantastic. They really are. The blueberries had a bit of a hit this year because the goats got them last time, but unfortunately we haven't got the goats anymore because they kept escaping, and once they escape they never stay in. There's some more carrots in containers. Now I definitely recommend that. They're growing really, really well, and I've even put my hand down there to see. I don't know if I can show you. No, I can't really, but they are growing nicely anyway, them. In the polytunnel we've got plenty of tomatoes growing. We've got some peppers. There's quite a few nice peppers coming on there. Really nice, yeah. All along the wall there, on the shelf. The tomatoes are starting. I've had a couple of tomato plants that have got stunted growth, like this one. But the tomatoes are still growing, but they haven't grown upwards, if you know what I mean. But yeah, we've got lots of aromas hopefully on the way. Got some cucumber plant there. It's got some little baby cucumbers coming. On this side, I've got some green peppers. Yeah, they're probably near enough done to eat, I'd say. A couple of them are anyway. They did really well up there. In fact, there's one up here I'd say was ready to pick. That one. Yeah, so it's a tougher year for the tomato plants because we haven't had so much heat, but they are growing, and fingers crossed for some good tomatoes. Also harvested the garlic that's hanging up there. The pink germino, I can't say it. But yeah, some garlic up there. We did grow some garlic in the veggie pods, but that didn't turn out, and I said I'll share the good and the bad with you. Probably because it had a cover and it didn't get cold enough for the bulbs to split, so we just got the whole bulb like that. And yeah, so I won't be growing them in there again. You might have had success, but it didn't work for me, so I thought I'd share that with you as well. We've also got some rhubarb there. I'm going to cut that and make some rhubarb crumble. You can also make a nice drink from rhubarb. I'll have to find the recipe and put it on for you. Also put these guttering up for the strawberries, but it does dry out quick. That's the only problem with it. And I wouldn't say it's particularly deep enough, but we'll see. So I put one there and one along this wall here as well, and some in the 2 troughs. They'll probably do better next year, but I mean there is some strawberries on them, but the weather plays a big part, doesn't it? Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed watching the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps the algorithm on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care everyone, see ya, bye.